Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are listening to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. Your one-stop shop for professional wrestling, insight, news, and reviews on a daily basis. And it's Wednesday. You know what that means. It means tonight is AEW Dynamite, the first show coming out of course, this past, I think, Saturday night's World's End pay-per-view. We have a new AEW champion. We briefly had a new TNT champion, but now it's back with the rightful holder again. And of course, there'll be a lot more. It's going to be an exciting night to be an AEW fan, and we have a lot to talk about on today's show. And you guys know me, I say it every time. When we have a lot to talk about, we need a great panel, and indeed we do today. And let's kick it off with the co-host of the show, Clark Taylor. Clark, how are you?
Oh, dude, I am excellent. It's Wednesday, and I know exactly what that means. I hope you guys do too. I'm stoked to get into this week's Dynamite. On the heels of World's End, we got tons to talk about. It's going to be a fun one. I'm just stoked to get into it. I'm ready for it all the way around.
Absolutely. I am pumped personally for today's show. I always love a weekly show after a pay-per-view because it means there can be new storylines, new opportunities, and well, that is always a fun time. We've got Bobby Petito in these comments. Shout out Bobby Petito. We've also got quite a lot of people joining us on Instagram, including the Italian Wrestling Association. Shout out to you over there on Instagram. But also joining us, we have the man who's known by many names, including the Tuesday Night Delight, Shad. Shad, how are you today?
Gotta throw them twos up, man. I'm doing wonderful, Ben. I'm definitely excited to talk about AEW Dynamite. This is low-key a super stacked week of professional wrestling all over the boards, all different promotions. So us as fans would definitely win in right into the new year. Yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about it. Salutations to everybody on the comments and to my people on the panel, man. Carter, Clark, man, what's good?
What's good?
You pulled it, Clark, and you spoiled the final panelist today.
I'm so sorry.
More importantly, also, congrats, Shad, on the fantasy football championship win. A remarkable accomplishment for anybody. You play all season to win,
Yes, sir.
and to take home that belt. I know. Monster shout out.
Feeling like Roman Reigns. I'm not losing this title anytime soon.
Nah, keep it
All
forever.
the people in the chat gonna know that.
But last but certainly not least, we have a man who, well, the last time he spoke to was in Vegas, whereas his half-brother, his cousin, whatever you want to call him, Carty Carnett, he was down in Vegas, and he was down bad. How did things go, Carter? Did your, cousin get up or whatever, or what did the, days continue to be a bit bad for him there?
Me personally, I had a great trip. I turned $300 into $500.
Hey.
I'm a humble guy, Ben. I don't mean to brag, but I brought home this very valuable asset. Yeah. But Cardi, he's in trouble. He lost all his money. He might be in prison. He's in parts unknown. I'll just say that. But I'm doing great after that 100% prediction rate on the men's matches on that last AEW pay-per-view. I have to say, I'm the only one who knew exactly what would happen with Samoa Joe. So me and my new piece of merchandise are feeling pretty high. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I
gotta ask though, when you turned that 300 into the 500, did you go to like a magic show, or was that one of those famous tables they mentioned in Vegas?
I used my mind and my skill.
Yes.
I was playing Baccarat, actually.
Oh, wow.
Poor Cardi Cornett. He getting eaten up by the loan sharks, ain't he?
He is.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
man,
hard guys got him.
he's gonna have to go on more rants to get that ad revenue up in order to pay them off. But let's jump straight into Dynamite because of course tonight. Let's just start with the biggest story, and the biggest story is Adam Cole, of course, is the devil himself. He turned heel on MJF at World's End, and, his new faction, which is basically the Kingdom plus Wardlow, turned on MJF as well. They beat him down and potentially ended MJF's AEW career. Well, tonight, Adam Cole, despite his injuries, will be showing up on Dynamite, and he will be explaining his actions. I mean, Clark, if you had that pencil, what would you do in this situation? How would you book it?
This is a fun one because I actually think this is the most impactful thing Adam Cole can do for actually a few more months. We forget that he's injured, right? As much as he was still sitting on that chair, I think a large reason that we didn't have him pull a mask off for a reveal was the fact that we needed him already down at ringside, so we didn't have to hobble down to ringside for the reveal post-match. I think that's a large reason we had him pull his mask in particular out of the jacket. So tonight we'll get the answer in a promo segment. I'm excited about that. What I actually hope happens is that the rest of the faction establishes some sort of dominance elsewhere, continues to be on the aggressive, continues to attack people, continues to be a vicious faction. Now that they're unmasked, even scarier, you know who they are, but they're still ruthless and establish themselves as a ruthless force to be reckoned with, because I think that takes a little bit of the pressure off of Cole until he is fully healthy. If the rest of the squad, is Wardlow in particular, obviously now you have the tag team champions tied to this group, right? But the damage needs to happen with the others outside of Adam Cole, and he directs traffic on the microphone. That to me, if I have the pencil, is kind of the key. How exactly we get there, I don't have a perfect prediction, but I don't think this needs to be a single segment. I think they need to show up twice on the show in some way or another, right? Where you have Adam Cole explain himself maybe, and then suddenly you cut backstage and a few of our favorites are laid out and we know exactly who it is, and Adam's there to direct traffic, explain, and stay on the aggressive side. Maybe even a mocking tease about Max isn't even signed, so he can't even get his redemption. He's irrelevant. Put that out in the lexicon just to sprinkle it in the back of our heads.
Stir the pot a bit.
Yes, for if and when. I believe personally when, but it's very possible it goes either way. But I've believed for a long time that Max is returning, but at least just plant the seed of like, he'll never even get his comeuppance, and he never saw it coming. And I fumbled the ring on purpose, and he thought I had his back, and I never really cared about him. And my plan all along was to take the belt off of him, and I'll still take the belt off Samoa Joe. It doesn't matter. I eliminated Max from the equation, who was the biggest threat anyway. And I used Samoa Joe to do it. He made a deal with the devil. And he owes me one too. Stuff like that. It's very it's a hanging curveball, not to make a baseball reference, but I imagine Adam Cole's going to knock this one out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Cole on the mic, he is just fire. He spits
fantastic.
He spits flames. And I'm very excited to see, how this goes tonight. But Clark, I'm not going to let this go, right? Every time you bring up this Adam Cole injury, I've got to mention it. You still try to claim that X-ray was fake.
To be honest, the way that the X-ray was shown, I did at the time believe, I'll fully admit, that he's definitely injured. The X-ray, the way that it was, the angle it was shown at, it didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand, because it doesn't usually look like that. There was a lot of arrows and graphics involved too that I wasn't so sure about on the first picture I saw. The second one, it was like, okay, no, I get this. He's hurt. And then
I showed you the actual picture on the daily. We were arguing about it, and you said, Ben, I'm telling you it's fake.
I thought it was. And by the way, if it was, the time to show that it was you just pull the Kevin Nash move in that match that we just saw on Saturday night. So, yeah. Or I'm sorry, Diesel move.
It's not. I wish it was though. I wish you
Oh, it
were
would've
right
been
about that
iconic.
one, but
Sorry about that.
it's all good.
Just
It's all
got
good. But
no, just got like a dog hair off of my sweater from my dog. It was really bad, right in my
when,
nose.
when cats aren't running into this show,
Yeah,
dogs are getting hair.
shout out my dog
on the mic.
Zuzu. She made a cameo there.
We got a couple of comments here. We got Samurai Wrestling on Instagram saying the new IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship belt looks good. I agree, of course. Wrestle Kingdom 18 tomorrow. I'm hyped about that. I'm sure we'll be doing some content here at Wrestling Republic on that. But now, what about you, Shad? How are you feeling, about this entire Adam Cole situation? What do you think we should do? And Bobby Petito here is saying that Kyle O'Reilly should join the group. Would you like to see that happen?
Yeah, why not? I mean, more the merrier. To a faction wouldn't be bad. I also wouldn't be upset if Kyle O'Reilly is a voice of reason and kind of goes against the grain and tries to challenge Adam Cole in the faction, saying that you're not choosing the right path or whatnot. Either way, I would love to see Kyle O'Reilly just back. I know he's coming back from an injury himself, but regarding this entire storyline, I didn't get to speak about the pay per view. I love the reveal of Adam Cole, uh, leading into this entire faction of masked men, as well as revealing himself as the devil. I think this was kind of my feeling that it would be initially on the start of the devil storyline, or even prior to that. I think I kind of thought that the way to go was hit us with a swerve. MJF is not gonna be the heel and turn on Cole. It's gonna be Cole finding a way and turning on MJF. And I think they did a good job kind of leading it as long as they could and having that swerve where it is Adam Cole and it leading it to this point. And I think what I want to see tonight is I want to see Adam Cole just spit a fiery promo, letting them know that why he thinks Max is a scumbag, why he chose to do the actions that he chose and chose to lead the people to the direction what it is. It's one of those situations where in theory, yes, they are the bad guys of the heels, but every heel has a reason, right? Thanos had a reason for the actions that what he did. They have a reason too. They didn't forget the actions of what MJF has led and done to majority of them, especially Wardlow, especially Adam Cole. The Kingdom are strong allies of Adam Cole, and I'm super excited just the utilization of Adam Cole while still out, but being more of a managerial talking piece for these guys because he adds a different element as a speaker to the Kingdom, to Roderick Strong, and to Wardlow, and they just look very appealing as a unit. And I just want to see this continue to build. I want to see them as a strong force because I think having factions is a great thing for professional wrestling. And I think if you have this Super Kingdom with Adam Cole steering the way, with Wardlow added to it, hey man, they're gonna cause some chaos going on to this AW roster. So I'm definitely excited for it.
No, I mean that is a great point. Of course, factions in professional wrestling, we've seen quite a lot of them in AEW, and quite a lot of them, especially I mean the one which MJF had, of course, went absolutely the pinnacle, went absolutely nowhere, and quite a few other factions in AEW have just done next to nothing. But hopefully this one is different because
They,
when a
they to
faction is done
me,
right,
to me, they can rival BCC. Like I feel like they're that
oh
strong of
yes.
a unit. Like they don't got a lot of slouches on. Like Wardlow is really good, and I think we forget that that muddied TBS title run made a lot of fans forget how great he is. I think this is the perfect reminder and character flip for him to get back into the groove of things.
No, I hope you're right. I mean, you are right. BCC is a perfect example then of a faction which has done what it's supposed to in AEW, and to put those, against each other, I'd be down to see that, especially in Blood and Guts, in just a few months' time or whatever it is. But Carter, what about you? How are you feeling about this? What do you think Adam Cole, baby, should do?
Well, I mean, Ben, it's going to be hard for me not to mention the two words Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is the AEW World Champion. It's the new year. It's time to celebrate. I mean, I think though this story, I mean, Cardi Cornette's he's in the Pokies, so I can say this. Tony Khan is a great storyteller in pro wrestling. I mean, wrestling's beautiful. This is my opinion. When you can mix real life with stuff that's going on in real life with kayfabe, and they almost outsmarted our enemies, the dirt sheets. Like literally,
Yeah.
we don't know is MJF, is he staying, is he going, and this just totally leaves it in the open whether he stays or leaves. This makes it a very interesting story. And I know even though a lot of us did expect Adam Cole to be the devil, me personally, this is the best outcome because I've been watching Samoa Joe. I've been watching these guys for like 20 years. Samoa Joe, Roddy Strong. I've seen these guys in the indies, and I think AEW has a lot of talent underneath just the very top. That's why I was saying, give Joe the title. He's the biggest, strongest guy. Cardi Cornette, he just called me from prison. He said he agrees with me. Joe should be the champion. And I think it's just AEW showing the deepness of their roster and how much talent they have from guys who came from the indies, who came from NXT like Adam Cole and were really good over there. And I think it's just hats off to Tony Khan.
Absolutely. No, it has been good booking, and I question some of Tony Khan's booking at times, but I'll praise him when he's done it well. This angle I thought was done well. There were some people saying it, didn't reach the level that they hoped it would, and it wasn't as good as they hoped. For me personally, I thought they kind of nailed it. I'm excited to watch tonight. You mentioned Samoa Joe, the new AEW champion. This is the Dynamite preview. Why aren't we talking about him? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because he's in London. He's not even on his first show as AEW champion. Instead, he is in London town in the UK. And yeah, I guess we'll have to wait another week until we see him, but we will get like an exclusive comment or something from after the match the other day on Dynamite tonight, so at least he'll be featured in some capacity, but he won't actually be there. But now let's move on, eh? Let's move on, and let's move on to talk about somebody who I think a lot of people are already saying should be the guy to dethrone Samoa Joe, and that is Swerve Strickland, because tonight on Dynamite he's going to be taking on Daniel Garcia, and I'm excited for this match, but not entirely sure why it's actually happening. That is the big question here. It isn't the Continental Classic anymore. Why are we randomly throwing together matches? Yes, I want to see it, but would a casual fan want to see it? Clark, please do.
I can explain exactly why, and you haven't even mentioned the match inside of the match. We've got against Nana and Garcia dance-off? Come on, baby. Sign me up. Swerve When I Drive versus, it's just a simple change. The dances are close. We've had gimmick infringement, stepping on toes the whole way. We've got the two best dancers in the business in the same spot at the same time. What are we talking about here, dude? This is the matchup of the night. And not only that, as you mentioned, Swerve Strickland, he's next. We used to call Brock Lesnar the next big thing. Swerve's the current big thing. And he's about to be the next biggest thing, because this is the next step in the right direction. Daniel Garcia proved himself in that press conference post World's End this weekend. He proved himself in the tournament. He's proved himself to be a valuable asset in the ring. This match is going to be outstanding against Swerve Strickland, and Swerve will go over with a nasty, nasty Swerve stomp. For the finish, the 1, 2, 3, we'll get some fun in between, I'm hoping, a little dance off, and then we call it a day. I have no issue with this match in the least. It's the first step in the right direction for both, because it's going to be an all-out brawl, and it might not be the last time we see the two. I think we have a small series on the way up for Swerve too, where Daniel Garcia gets close and close and close, and it doesn't necessarily hurt him too bad, but he just can't get over on Swerve, and Swerve moves on to the next one, right into that world title picture, whether it's Samoa Joe or whoever else it is holding that title. Swerve Strickland is going to be around that gold very shortly here. So enjoy these good matches while we get them on the way up, because he's on the elevator to the top.
What you said there was great. I agree with a lot of it. But you did not just tell me they're doing this match because one manager dances
It's the
and
dance
the
off.
other one does a dance. Like,
They're very similar dances. I don't know if you've seen them.
I have seen them. Everybody
And then
does them every show on this show.
Yeah, it's
Why are
dance
we?
time. Swerve.
You guys know me. I love a bit of sports entertainment. I don't mind the dances, especially. Well, both of them, Nana and Garcia, the dance stuff they both do is funny, right? But we're not just randomly throwing together a match now for dances, are we?
No. But we will get that spot, and I am excited about it.
Give me
It's like we don't make NFL games just to
give the people what they want, Tony. Dance off. Forget the match. Nana versus Garcia tonight.
We don't make NFL games just to see the best corner go against the best receiver, but when it's a great matchup, we focus on it. You know?
I'm not even I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. I agree with Bobby Petito. It's great to see Daniel Garcia getting an opportunity to wrestle Swerve Strickland Dynamite. I agree too, right? I agree. I'm excited to see this match. I'm sure it'll be great. But just give me some story because, I mean, listen, whenever AEW's hot, it's because they've done a good story, right? Every time they throw random matches together, the ratings are lower. Right. And then they wonder why. And that's factual, by the way. You can go and check it too if anybody's doubting me. Whenever they just throw random matches on the card and people are like, oh, well, this is going to be a good match. Unless it's somebody who's a big draw in the match, it doesn't draw. But good matches without a story isn't good enough.
But have you seen Prince Nana and Daniel Garcia dance, Ben? That's just a simple question I have to ask you. Have you seen them both dance? Have you seen the similarities in the dancing? It's a matchup we want to see.
Well,
America's Next Dance Group did great ratings.
210 on Instagram agrees. He agrees. He says he's excited for it, but they need a build to it. And I'm not. Listen, I'm complaining about it too much. At least both men are on TV. At least they're continuing the build, the storylines of both men. But I don't know. Couldn't they have done maybe? Did they have to announce this ahead of time? Maybe they just announced that Swerve Strickland's gonna be there and he's going to compete. Then he's there, he's backstage, and then Daniel Garcia comes in, does a dance. Nana gets offended, does a dance too. They start having a dance off. Swerve Strickland looks at them both and goes, "Both of you idiots! Let's do this in the ring." Swerve's all getting annoyed about it. He storms down to the ring. The crowd's all loving him. Daniel Garcia comes out. They then do the match. Daniel Garcia does his little dance towards the end. It costs him once again. Matt Menard on commentary is fuming. Swerve Strickland gets the victory. Bang. There you go. You've told the story. It makes sense. Rather than just throwing it together randomly.
If Swerve Strickland runs down to the ring, how does Prince Nana dance?
Doesn't. That's the point. They dance backstage. No. But maybe, no. Maybe once Swerve wins, Nana then comes down and then Nana starts dancing over Daniel Garcia's dead body. How about that?
In the words of the great Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack, what do we do now? We dance, Ben. We dance. Let them dance.
The only thing I'm doing is dancing to the TV remote to turn it off.
Dance. Let the people dance. Give the people what they want.
We're not doing 30-second dance breaks or whatever.
Let them dance.
I had enough of that. back on SmackDown Live back in the day. Let's move on, and let's now move on to talk about somebody who I am excited to see tonight, and that is Mariah May. Mariah May is making her debut in the women's division. They've hyped this up. Everybody knows she has a great look. Everybody knows she has great potential, but now it is time to show the world her wrestling ability. And for those of you who watched her in Stardom, she certainly got that too. She is the full package, but I'm going to be completely honest here. She's facing somebody who I'm not too familiar with tonight. She's facing Queen Aminata. I'm not too familiar, but hopefully I'm a fan of her after this match. I mean, Shad, how are you feeling heading into this one?
I'm definitely excited. I'm actually a fan of both women as professional wrestlers. Before we get some, tonight is May Day. It's Mariah May Day, so we are excited for that. But Queen Aminata is a great talent. She's been in the indie scene for a few years that I've been watching, and I believe she's wrestled on ROH a little bit, so she's not a stranger to AEW. I've seen her wrestle on Dark Elevation prior before, so it's a nice little match. I like AEW because it is kind of in a sense, like an enhancement talent match for how they would normally do for on the WWE side, but they kind of sprinkle in some of these independent names that fans are aware of. They may be popping independent wrestlers that may be tuned to whatever city they're in. It's always good to see. So I'm excited to see Queen Aminata get an opportunity. But tonight is May Day, and fans, you are in for a treat. Mariah May was a tremendous signing by AEW. Someone who is still very young in her career, who has built up a name for herself out in Japan, out in Stardom, part of the whole Club Venus faction, and she can wrestle, man. Like I've seen her and Julia have a hard hitting bout against each other. She is not a slouch. She really be laying her ish in matches, and you would not maybe think that'd be the case because she's got the pretty girl image to her, but it's gonna be one of those things where we're gonna see someone showcase their talent, and I think the fans are gonna be very pleased by it. And her and Tony Storm aligned together is really good. I think they're gonna tell really good stories. I think you're gonna see the kind of sidekick try to follow fame, and I think it's gonna eventually build to a storyline between them down the road. But it's how we build it to down the road. And I think Mariah May is no short of a superstar in the same breath as Tony Storm, given the opportunity, given the progression, given the time. So it's day one for her. I'm excited, and I'm definitely going to be tuned into that match.
Absolutely. No, I could not have said it better myself, Shad. You really hyped that match up, and now I'm even more excited to see Mariah May debut and also to see Queen Aminata for the Aminata, is it?
Queen Aminata, yeah.
Cool. For the first time, I'm excited. Bobby Petito is revealing that she's wrestled
she-
in WWE before.
She's got a really cool look. Obviously, she's got like the queen image to her. She's someone who I wouldn't be surprised gets poached up by AEW to build up a young up and coming fat like stars in the women's division. Like those are the type of signings like would be good for them. You know, let her maybe cook on ROH till she gets ready to get on AEW. If you use ROH how they kind of use NXT, it would kind of be what reminiscent of like how they use like Roxanne or Cora Jade or Tiffany Stratton on NXT to eventually build up. So it's an idea. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very excited to see her now. You've given her high praise, Shard. I'm expecting a lot from her now. Only joking. But we got Vanilla Gorilla 710 in the comments saying he's a big fan. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. But now let's move on to talk. Well, let's move on to talk about Orange Cassidy, the international champion, because he's facing Dante Martin tonight. And these kind of open challenge international championship matches is the one time where I don't have as much of an issue with random matches. I'm excited to see Dante Martin getting, chance to be showcased here tonight as well, because of course, injuries with Top Flight have just hurt them so badly, and I felt so bad about it. But Dante Martin, Orange Cassidy, I'm curious to see it tonight. I'm excited for it. I wish that this was the only random match on the card, but unfortunately there's a couple of others too. But Carter, how are you feeling heading into this one?
Once again, I am here to praise Tony's booking. I mean, Dante's been in a couple of great matches, trios, tag team matches, and give him the shot at Orange Cassidy. So I'm going to reference another indie here, Ben. So bear with me. There's a promotion called Chikara, which Orange Cassidy, to me, and Cardi Cornette would absolutely hate this, perfectly emphasizes. It's fun. Like, it's all about like wrestling being entertaining. I think that Orange Cassidy and Eddie Kingston were like the only two characters that weren't like supposed to be like bugs. Like everyone was like the ant and like the wasp. And so Orange Cassidy, he's just, I'm sorry, Cardi Cornette, it's not simulating combat. He's a fun wrestler, and this is a fun match. And this is going to be, it's just going to be a solid mid card for the mid card match. You got a high flyer versus, Orange Cassidy's rock solid. I think this is just, it's going to be good. Cassidy's, he's probably going to win, probably going to walk away with the dub. But this is, if we're playing a 2K right now, this might get us 4 stars on a weeknight in the middle of the week. So I think this, again, great booking from Tony.
4 stars. Oh, we're
Like.
throwing them out. It's like we're in the Tokyo Dome. Oh, we are tomorrow, actually. Well, of course, Wrestle Kingdom 18. I'm excited for that. That one is going to be good. We've got to tell Kobe to get those 5 stars ready.
What time am I staying up till?
6.
You're staying up. So I worked it out for you, actually. I actually, let's go full screen for a second. I have worked it out for you, Clark, right? So it'll start at 11:30 in the night your time, which, by the way, is, I mean, that's delightful because WWE pay-per-view start for us at 1 a.m. So you have zero excuses to not stay up. 11:30 p.m. Now it will run until I probably expect until about 4 or 5 a.m. your time. However, so did the AEW pay-per-view the other day.
Can I get away
managed
with
to survive that.
Can I get away with going 4-hour nap 8 to midnight, joining just a skosh late, hitting the last 4.5 hours with you?
So you're saying you'll only miss on air, you're saying you'll only miss the first 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay,
That,
yeah.
that way I can get
that's
in and
fine.
nap with a little bit of sleep,
I
plan for it.
I wake up to go to work at 4 Eastern time, so I could probably catch the last bit of it, to be honest with you. I'll probably miss the first couple hours of it.
So that would be, you'll catch, actually, you'll miss the first couple, but you could catch, a little bit of it then as well. For those of you at home, it starts 7:30 a.m. UK time tomorrow. I think it's 4:30 for those in Japan, and then it's 2:30 a.m. Eastern and 11:30 p.m. Pacific time. I had to do all this math in a bowling alley earlier today to work it out for everybody, right? That's what I was spending my day doing.
I need to get coffee on.
He let the whole Wrestling Republic staff know, so we were informed. We appreciate you, Ben.
Well, let's look forward to that tomorrow. It should be fun. And we got Ali Miari on Instagram saying, "How is everyone doing? I'm doing great. I hope you are too, Ali.
Happy New Year." I think we got like
Happy
2 days
New
left
Year.
where it's acceptable to say that, right? Isn't like the
Yeah,
5th where it starts to get old?
Yeah, I think 5 days in. Yeah, that's when after Wrestle Kingdom is usually my rule of thumb. After Wrestle Kingdom, it's a bit too late. Before you're fine. But now let's move on to talk about the greatest wrestler to ever grace God's green and beautiful earth, and that is Christian Cage. Because tonight on Dynamite, he is giving a State of the Union. So all of you better be standing on your feet to show respect to the patriarch himself, Christian Cage. Because, of course, at World's End, AEW World's End, we almost saw one of the biggest travesties in the history of professional wrestling when Adam Copeland, and I'm almost getting choked up talking about this now, tried to put Christian Cage's son through a flaming table in front of his mother. That absolute sociopath. It's getting me just too emotional talking about it, right? But that sociopath, Adam Copeland, stole that TNT champion. But thankfully, the oldest creature to ever live on our planet, Killswitch, not to be confused with his old former name, his incorrect name, Luchasaurus, decided to help out Christian Cage by winning that Battle Royale and then cashing in that contract to assist Christian Cage, so Cage could win back that title in front of those disgusting, some words I cannot even bring myself to say because I won't even steep to their level, Long Island fans who I'm so thankful we're away from, and I hope we never go back there again after those disgusting chants during that match where they tried to make it look like Christian Cage was the bad guy. Well, thankfully that has not happened. Adam Copeland lost, and I hope we never see him on AEW TV again, so ratings can rise, and so can the patriarchy when Christian Cage gives his State of the Union tonight. I, for one, am absolutely excited, and I will be standing for Christian Cage. You can bet on that. Carter, will you be joining me?
Ben, I'm just happy that you have a solid father figure in your life to show you what it means to be a man and how to carry yourself. Because without Christian Cage, how would any of us know how to do anything? I mean,
the world will be ended.
No,
Doomsday.
No, Ben, this is how you've gotten to where you've gotten is this strong father figure in your life, such as Mr. Cage.
Christian Cage.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of you and your the
Perfect guidance.
I mean, World's End. I still got a couple cage match reviews I got to go in and write, and Cardi Cornette still needs to make his account, but that World's End ending was shocking. I know, like, we like to pretend it's real and not. I was shook, Ben. I was absolutely like, I watched Japanese MMA later. I didn't need to watch it. I was like, this was real to me. That was when I thought Kill Switch was going to betray Christian. I swear.
Of course not.
I thought I know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Why would he?
A man like that who's given him so much to turn his back on him like that. But no, I was just the table's on fire. Edge and Christian. I mean, this is Tony. You're killing it. I hate to, and I'm saying this with my cousin in the pokey because he would freak out if he heard me saying this, but. This is great. I mean, I have no idea where this is going. I just know that Christian is going to continue to set a good example for all of us. That's what my prediction is. He is going to continue to be the father figure that he is, and just show us how to be men. Because without a man like that, we would know. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Men would be extinct.
Mm-hmm. We need Christian, and we need the patriarchy. Or we're out without a paddle.
We're done. We're done for. You are wrong about one thing, though, and that is that Carty Carnett used his one phone call today to call me up, and he told me, Ben, I have one thing I want you to say on the show today, and that is that Christian Cage is the greatest wrestler to ever grace this earth. And I agree with him. I don't think anybody can disagree. Even Carty Carnett agrees. Everybody loves him. He's amazing. He's a genius, right? We all admire him. We have posters of him on our walls. We look at him the moment we wake up every morning and the second we go to sleep. Because guess why? Christian Cage makes this world a better place, and that sociopath Adam Copeland tried to take that away from us. Take a deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Shad, how are you feeling ahead of Christian Cage's State of the Union tonight?
Before I start that, the only person worse than Adam Copeland is Fallon Henley. And she may be the daughter of Beth Phoenix and Adam Copeland. I mean, we spoke about it yesterday. Poor businessman, couldn't run a bar, took blood money from Kiana James. Sounds like Adam Copeland. But that's neither neither here or there. I'm excited for it, man. I spoke about it last week. And I'm really, really enjoying the storyline tied with Copeland and Christian in all seriousness. And Christian is really knocking it out the park as a character. Like, I don't think there is a heel in professional wrestling that is so like entertaining to the level that he's doing it. Like, I think Swerve is top notch, but Swerve is also being loved by the fans, where he's kind of in a tweener situation. Christian, as a pure heel, he's doing lights out work, and I love the patriarchy. I love the whole faction that is assembled. I think Nick Wayne as a son to Christian and being the young guy, and Luchasaurus, Kill Switch, and then of course the GOAT Mama Wayne. Like, what's better than them in AEW television at the moment? I mean,
absolutely.
I think Tony Khan should fire Bryan Danielson and just give Christian that title. He wouldn't find anybody. He'd make everyone better. We'd see everybody on their top game. So how we have ahead of the table at WWE with Roman Reigns, the head of the patriarchy needs to run AEW, and I actually think Samoa Joe should relinquish his title again because he's prone to do that, and he should just hand it to Christian.
He should. Absolutely. I actually personally wrote to the AEW media team to ask Tony Khan to step down and for Christian Cage to replace him.
Oh, yeah.
Because Christian Cage, you wouldn't have had Brawl Out if Christian Cage was in charge, would you? As soon as CM Punk would have started talking, going, oh, you know what, like this Mindy's Bakery, blah, 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 Christian Cage would have just put his finger on CM Punk's lips,
I mean,
and that would have been the end of it. He would have shut up.
Let's be real. Better father, Christian Cage or Shad Khan? Christian Cage.
I think the evidence says all you need to know. But I will say this, right? You did say one thing, which I'm going to be honest with you. I was glitching out. Maybe my monitor switched off or my headphones went out. I don't know. But just to clarify something, you didn't call Christian Cage a heel, did you?
I'm sorry.
No, I think he said he has heels.
It goes. He bought Mama Wayne some nice heels. He went to the store.
What a lovely man.
He bought her some.
Lovely.
She's looking really
what
flashy.
A
Yeah.
man.
What a guy, man. I mean, if he was the owner of the Jaguars, they might actually be doing something in the playoffs. But
maybe they would. In fact, not even maybe. I'm sure they would be because. Well,
Trevor Lawrence needs a father figure. Trevor Lawrence needs a father figure too. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, everybody needs a Christian Cage in their lives, including you, Clark. How are you today? Not how are you today?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing the intro again.
I gotta say,
I start thinking about Christian Cage and it throws me off because the man's just so perfect. For a while,
and don't worry, I don't need an intro on this subject. I'll talk Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. No worries. I hear where all you guys are coming from on the leadership qualities of Christian Cage, but I will present a scenario to you. You don't go to the aquarium and stick your hands in the shark tank. And what I'm worried for not only Christian Cage, but Nick Wayne and everybody surrounding him, Kill Switch, is that tomorrow is Throwback Thursday, but today is going to be Way Back Wednesday really quick because they may have awoken a beast inside of Adam Copeland, not just the rated R superstar, but the ultimate opportunist. And he needs to be looking over both shoulders at all times. Everybody around the patriarchy needs to be looking over both shoulders at all times because the ultimate opportunist is one of the scariest people in the history of professional wrestling. And if that's what we get, mocking one of the most iconic moments in the history of professional wrestling when Edge cashed in the first Money in the Bank briefcase with a spear over John Cena after the Elimination Chamber match and beating him with his own finisher after losing to his own finisher. What a way to go out for 2023 for those two. But in 2024, if the ultimate opportunist version of the rated R superstar is back, you can't run and you can't hide because he'll be right there behind you on your heels. Another reference to heels there, to that pun intended. On your heels at all times, ready to strike at any moment, and he'll go to any length to do it. That is that version of Adam Copeland, and I think that is something that Christian needs to be wary of, being the leader that he is. I'm not saying he can't overcome that onslaught.
No, I wouldn't put it past Adam Copeland to do something disgusting like that. No,
but
I think
he
you're
may
right,
have awoken a beast. And like I said, you don't go to the aquarium and stick your hands in the shark tank. You don't go to the zoo, put your hands between the rail and the bear cage. You're just going to make them mad. And if they woke that up inside of the rated R superstar, the ultimate opportunist, one of the scariest dudes in all of wrestling, we're in for a heck of a back end of this rivalry. And it's already been amazing through now technically 3 matches, but I'm thinking best of 5, best of 7.
Well, I just hope the rated 1-star superstar got injured in that match. We won't have to see him for a long while because all he does is make the TV product worse. All he does is decline the ratings, and all he does is hurt Christian Cage and his son, Nick Wayne, in front of Mama Wayne.
Ben, but I just have a feeling on this day you don't see clearly. But everything will come to light.
Overrated song.
The only thing that's coming to light is the disgusting actions of Adam Copeland. And on that note, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I am done. I am done with it all. Tony Khan needs to leave AEW. Christian Cage needs to take over. And Adam Copeland needs to be handed a million fines. So many fines that Christian Cage can help pay for all of his kids to go to college. But on that note, we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, a cheeky 5-star makes my day, and it makes Christian Cage's day as well, I'm absolutely certain. And of course, if you're on all the other platforms, please do whatever you can to support us. We're here every day for you guys. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of your comments. They mean the world to us here at Wrestling Republic. We will be back tomorrow, later start time, 11 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, for Throwback Thursday with Clark, Anthony, and Shad, where they can talk about how Christian Cage made their Wednesday evenings. But thank you to Clark. I did the wrong way again. Thank you to Clark, thank you to Shad, and thank you to Carter for joining me here today. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Copeland always carried Christian.
No, he didn't.
You know what? We're not going off air yet, and I'm kicking you from the
I
stream.
had to.
Bye, Clark. Bye. Bye. Good night.